from newbies to experts, and I'm very excited that today we're going to have an amazing panel. And just a reminder that Crypto Mondays is a nonprofit organization, and we have amazing team that takes their time in their busy lives and to help and organize this event. I'm here today replacing for one event Caitlin, our founder. She's not in London. But yes, can we please give a round of applause for Crypto Mondays team? I'd like to give a big thanks to our sponsors that make those events possible. ICP, SUI, World 12, Kudos, London Blockchain Conference, OVH Cloud, and of course our amazing venue sponsor, Reed Smith. And I'd like to give a word to a couple of our sponsors today. So first, I'd like to invite Wasim from World 12. Wasim, great to see you. I know you're usually not in London.
Thank you so much.
You have a gift for everyone.
Hi, my name is Wasim Ahmad. I'm with Vault 12. We're the pioneers of crypto inheritance. We've been at it for 10 years. A little too early, I think, but the time seems to be right now. A lot of excitement over in the US, where I spend like half my time, especially last week, with stablecoin bill actually getting signed into law. And then I also heard with the work I do with Crypto UK that the FCA is now going to complete sort of its framework by the end of this year instead of the end of next year, which was kind of brain dead. So lots of good stuff coming. And thank you so much for being here. And we love being sponsors of Crypto Mondays. And there is a special promo code so that you can download our app. And if you're on iOS, you get a year's subscription for free. And if you're on Android, for some bizarre reason, you get 90 days. It's kind of a Google thing. So we printed it on the cupcakes, which will be out later, so you won't forget. But it's CML25.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm personally excited about cupcakes. Okay, I'm excited about the panel, but cupcakes as well. And then can we have Kish from ICP to give us a small talk?
Hello everyone. How's everyone doing today?
Yeah.
Let's make some noise. Hey! Okay. I love to feel the energy in the room. That's what gets me going, huh? So hi, my name's Kish. I'm CEO of ICP Hub here in the UK. For those who don't know what ICP is, it is a layer 0, which means we have connectivity to many different chains. Now we have something extremely special happening right now. We're in the middle of, I think it's the biggest hackathon in Web3, to be honest with you. The largest developer onboarding in history right now, right? So if you guys want to be part of history in the making, we've got something very special happening, and that is an incredible giveaway. So we're going to be doing a giveaway for everybody who signs up to our hackathon. So anyone who's interested, please do scan the QR code here. We're giving away a Steam Deck, which is very beautiful. You can play obviously amazing games on it, and it's got a beautiful, lovely OLED screen. So guys, please scan the QR code and get involved with the giveaway. And for those of you that don't know about the hackathon, it's called the World Computer Hacker League, and we're giving away a whopping $300,000 prize pool towards all of the developers and builders that are building utilizing ICP. So if you guys are interested, please come and find me and we can speak. If you guys are interested to know how to get involved with it, if you have interest within building on chain, please speak to me. So yeah, thank you guys.
And now for those who don't know, if London is making a big reboot, so James Zaki, please give us your words.
Thank you. Hey everyone, who's heard of Ethereum London before? Yep, got a fair few of you. Who's heard of Ethereum? Yeah. Excellent. So yeah, this event's for you. The Ethereum London meetups have been running for basically since January 2014. Before I was in London, of course. They had Vitalik coming, Gavin Wood coming. Yeah, a lot of speakers who founded Ethereum basically, and then yeah, we're sort of celebrating the 10-year anniversary of when Ethereum was launched as well. So that was I think it was July 2015. And so, yeah, next Wednesday next week, 30th of July 2025, we are celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Ethereum and the reboot of Ethereum London. So it's kind of, from what I've understood, it used to be kind of really good, and it's kind of slowly fizzled out. And so the other organizers who were running it said, hey, James, you run weekly workshops. Do you want to run it here in London? I'm like, okay, let's bring it back. So yeah, we're just sort of kicking things off next week. QR code's there, ethlondon.org or ethlvn.org. And oops, sorry, I can move over. And please be there. And if not, like there is a wait list, we are going to do bigger events. So we're going to bring back tech talks. We're going to have those maybe every quarter. And then in between, we'll have more focused events. So a bit like the Ethereum Foundation, the way it's leaning into applications now, bringing sort of the technology into use. We're going to do a bit more of that as well in the Ethereum London events. So yeah, find the link tree there. There'll be a way to get in touch as well. So I'm open to everyone's feedback. What do you want to see in London about Ethereum? Thank you.
Seems like Ethereum is making all kind of comebacks this month. So yeah, now I would like to invite our guests, and we're gonna have a panel beyond the algorithm, decentralizing social media. So social media in DeFi it's not a new thing, but I feel like it's just kind of getting its recognition. So I know that we really didn't have a proper panel on this topic before, so I'm very excited to have our guests. Please come to me. And I'll let everyone, Michael. Okay, I'll let you guys introduce. Hi, sorry. I thought it was.
Okay, great to see so many people in here this evening. Thanks for showing up. Before I do some introductions, I just want to do a little reframing of what decentralized social media is. So I think everyone gets what social media is, right? But what's this decentralized part at the front? Decentralized basically means that you own your profile, you own your content, and you own your users, followers, fans, community, whatever that looks like. In today's big social media platforms that we all use and experience, that's not quite the case. The control often sits with the platforms. If they change their terms and conditions, you have to listen to that. And sometimes these platforms can, live and die, as we see from time to time. So tonight we're going to have an excellent panel with a view from a creators, investor, and people who are building the platforms themselves and growing them on how that's changing and how using blockchain infrastructure is perhaps a better way to do things moving forwards. So firstly, I'll introduce myself. My name's Jai Sandiford. I am the head of B2B solutions at POAP, which stands for the Proof of Attendance Protocol. We're an Ethereum business that preserves memories and makes collectibles from attending events and shared experiences. And I will let the panel do their introductions, but I'll also ask them to answer a little icebreaker question, which is, what's the first social media platform that you had an account for, and why was that the one you picked? I'll pass over to you, Dumpling.
Hey everyone, thank you, Jai. I am Dumpling, bullish Dumpling because permanently bullish on Web3 and crypto. I am an educational influencer, meaning I make educational content across different platforms, mainly YouTube and X, and about 46,000 organic followers since 2021. On a good day, maybe 14 hours spent across different social platforms. On a lazy day, maybe 10 hours.
Hey everyone, I'm Martin. I'm head of growth at Ton. I'll just quick, anyone on Telegram at all here? Yeah, anyone Telegram Premium? Okay, that might be used a little bit later, okay? Is that mic at the back there? Oh, there we go. You've moved all the way at the back. Is that for the heckles? We got a better view. Okay, so we'll do something special a little bit later just to show social media. First social media platform, I was around for MySpace. I don't know if you still know what MySpace is now. But I was actually on YouTube. I had a really successful channel on YouTube. I had 1 million views on videos, and they demonetized me. So people claiming their videos had my face in were theirs. So yeah, gave that up and went to the world of finance, and now in crypto, sitting on a stage speaking to you guys.
Nice. Yeah, I'm Lata, investor and research lead at Fabric Ventures. We're a venture fund in London, investing in crypto and frontier tech. My first social account, well, I think actually it was Snapchat. There was a lot of like the stranger danger for Facebook, and I also had a really pretty cat that everyone wanted photos of. So I guess it was just the perfect intersection of both of those things.
Nice. And Butch, sorry, what was your first?
Forgot to answer you.
Yeah.
Took me a while to think. It was called QQ. Anyone heard of that? It's a Chinese chatting app website. Nowadays, I think they repackaged it, and there's an alternative called WeChat. I believe over 1 billion people use it.
Wow. Okay. So thanks for the introductions. Social media has been around for a couple of decades. What is changing now? Why decentralize social media? Why is it something that we think we need, and what will it do that the big social media platforms can't or won't fix? I thought maybe it'd be interesting to get your thoughts first, Martin.
I knew you were going to come to me. Yeah, we're all on social media. We definitely are on that. I think like one of the key things when thinking about that, just from what you're saying, I don't know when Elon bought Twitter or X at the time, but then he took the username. So the poor person that had, I think it was X, or was it Elon? One of the names. He was posting there, and straight away just took it away, just like that. And that's it. The guy had no rest, nothing he could do about that. He just lost it, and that wasn't very decentralized. So shameless plug on Telegram, you can buy your own username. So that means that we can't go in, or anyone can go in to take your username for someone else, and you do that there. And obviously the collectibles, which we'll probably show in a minute about what that is, that's pretty fundamental of like owning your own data. So there's anonymous numbers, so then you have your own number, then you can join the groups without giving away your own phone number there. And there's usernames, there's the collectibles, there's stickers, there's gifts. You can add that to your profile. So we're sort of seeing the next wave of what decentralization can do. It's not just a gimmick, it's like these are the key things that we're sort of needing on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dumpling, you obviously create a lot of content and have a big following. Like, how do you feel that you own your community and your fans?
So I think back to basics, thinking about what's the point of decentralizing, social platform. Then you think about why did we have DeFi? To cut out the middleman and to add sovereignty to the individual. And as a content creator, I can tell you, I have not yet really felt ownership and sovereignty over the content I have. Of course, you understand if you create on certain Chinese platforms, you're up for censorship. But even when you create on YouTube, which is arguably a lot more free, you can still get demonetized. And Twitter, still, you can lose access to your own domain name. So I think as a content creator, you are an investor of a platform. You are investing your time and your energy. And what do you need? What are you looking for when you're investing? You're looking for stability. You're looking for durability and owning of the asset. So when I think about decentralized social platform, I care a bit less about incentives, perks, attracting users. I care about, can I build my home here?
Okay. And maybe Lata, from a VC point of view, then, like what social products do you find interesting that you're looking at investing in or have invested in on this point?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think we've already heard so much about the demonetization and I guess the lack of creator earning opportunities in Web 2, and I think that's a really interesting part of crypto. Always been great at capital formation, whether that's speculation or DeFi, and creators are really what makes people come back to these platforms. So it's definitely been excited to kind of see what crypto can do there. We're already seeing Web 2 move in that way with the way that Substack shares ad revenue with their creators. You already have obviously X paying out creators as well, and I think that is just a trend that can kind of naturally come with crypto too. And when it comes to the social products that we look at, I spend a lot of time on social media. I am a little bit of a TikTok addict. So for me, it's very much, is this something I would use? Is this something I could see my friends using? Can I build a daily habit around this? Those kind of questions, really. I think we're excited to see net new social behaviors, and yeah, just want to try a product that I love.
Okay, so this topic of monetization and creator tools, I know from my experiences, friendship tech. I think a few years ago you could buy keys, and that ended up in an airdrop scenario. I use Farcaster a lot and have earned some money on that just from posting content. But I'd love to hear from all the panel here, like, how do you separate what's real and what's hype? You know, what's just a shooting star that's going to be around for a few months and then fade? What's your perception on that and how you earn money from a decentralized social point of view?
I think on friend tech, I think that just got to sort of that pumped up fun hype, and I don't think anyone's really using it at all. And I think even the people with the main usernames, they were just like selling it and then lolling against it, go, oh look, I've sold my stuff for like 20 grand, you guys are idiots. And I think what was a great idea behind it, there was just not that next step, and I think it got too hyped up over that. With Telegram, and there's obviously some ton elements as well, there's some amazing ways to reward creators as well. I've got my own little channel. I actually have a LinkedIn, and I got 1 million views this year. Do you know how much I earn for my 1 million views?
Less than $100.
Someone said it there. What did you say?
Nothing.
Nothing. You don't get it. You know, I'm slaving away on, you know, that guy in the cap there. You started in my video. We got 10,000 views. I got 0 from it. I basically paid you a drink, and that cost me more than all the content I got there. And it's
me to look at you.
Pardon?
You should be paying me to look at what you.
Well, this boy might be coming up there in a second. I didn't realise we were doing a bit of stand-up, so we might be later there. I'm taking over there. Yeah. So we've got to reward, create. You know, we've got to give them an opportunity. And look, I've been on X, and I've got a lot of views on there. To even get monetized on that, there's a lot of hoops that you have to go through. And I saw a video, and someone got monetized, and they go, "How'd you get monetized?" And they said, "I was just basically just trolling all the main accounts as soon as they posted, and they got you monetized." And it's like, well, you're trying to get the monetization behind that, or actually, do you want to reward content creators? So on Telegram, there's multiple ways you can tip via stars. You can even do images, and you can actually pay to see what's going on there. And then also, like, there's NFT groups. So if you're in a group, you can then be closed group and go in there. So it's like an insiders group like that. And I think we should sort of reward quality content. You know, I think that's the key bit, and like what people are trying to do on that.
For sure. Any other comments on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would echo what you just said on rewarding quality content. I've actually found it quite interesting seeing different experiments of that play out. You know, originally on Lens, I guess, as they were building up to their airdrop, tipping culture became a thing on Farcaster. I guess originally trying to emulate Twitch streamers. I think it got a bit out of hand with some of the speculation with DGen, but they now award USDC rewards based on how much engagement you get. I think that's quite an interesting experiment. And yeah, I think maybe to take a Web 2 example, there are a lot of fashion influencers on Substack who can take a cut from, I guess, you call it secondary market trading in crypto, but I guess resale happening through their community on their platforms. I think that's a really exciting use case that just makes much more sense to be on chain than it does to be dealing with processing fees associated with Web 2 platforms.
Okay, so you both mentioned quality content. Dumpling, what do you think quality content is? Because to be rewarded for quality content, you need to know what that is and how to make it. So I'd be interested to get your thoughts.
Good question. You can call me mild fundamentalist about it, but it leaves a weird taste in my mouth when I think about platforms rewarding quality content. Instead, I believe much more in platform focusing on building a solid platform, letting the users decide what's quality content. When you look at Twitter, for example, you get rewarded in engagement, and that leads to people trolling. And I'm not saying trolling is shit, but platform will be rewarding that. Then you will have people more incentivized to retweet and troll others. But instead, if it's not the platform that's playing the judge or giving how much traffic, depends on how much you get. Instead, if it's the people, the users who decide who can pay you for the content, then it's up to them. Then they are choosing what's real quality. I think platform being a judge is, I'm not sure about that. There's a platform called Kaito. It's quite popular in recent weeks among the Chinese users. I see plenty of complaints about it, saying because it's rewarding you for creation, then it breeds a lot of low quality content and AI generated content. That's the issue with platforms trying to judge what's good content or what's enough content. That's the issue I see with that.
Yeah, for sure. So I think like Kaito is a really good example because they've built on top of X, basically index all the content and then like finding a way to create an engagement system on top of it. But I guess with that thought in mind, Martin, like how do you think about this from a Telegram perspective? Because in some of these use cases, it's not the platform creating incentives, it's people finding an opportunity to build a business on top of the platform.
We get a lot of channels. I'll do an example actually. Who's got Telegram Premium again? Put your hands up. There we go. Our resident comic. Can you pick one of those hands up?
I don't have it.
You don't? No.
I want my security.
This is failing very bad. What's your name? Andreas. Right. What we do? Dennis is our NFT lead at Ton. Okay. You got Telegram Premium. Okay. I'm only doing that just to reward Telegram Premium. He's going to send you an NFT just like that. We'll do it after this. Okay. What are you into, by the way? Outside of crypto.
Outside of crypto.
Well, we're going to find you an NFT that's relatable to that.
I used to make video games.
Video games. Okay, well, we'll try and find something that's video game related on that. I think there's some. I think there's some. So look, Andreas is into video games. Okay. Now imagine you get that NFT of video games, whatever it's going to be, and we'll do it afterwards. I don't know, some Super Mario or some Sonic the Hedgehog type group. Okay. Now imagine then that's gated within that group. Okay, and then maybe it's the person that's created that group. It's their NFTs, and they can go in there. So there's multiple ways then you can start engaging that there. So what we've been seeing now is with these GIFs, with these stickers, you can now enter groups only. So it's like a paywall in a way. You can go in there. These revenue can be like from firstly selling it, and then obviously on the secondary, and then they can also engage it within mini apps as well. I don't know, is anyone familiar with Telegram mini apps at all? No, I just know Jeffrey's nodding. Yeah, there are three of you. That's a bit of my job in a way to make sure. So basically, it's like apps. It's like WeChat. So it's basically you can have apps within Telegram. So instead of going to the App Store and the Android, you can actually just load up. So easy because all you do is you just type the name of the app within Telegram. You know, like Jeffrey's Store, and it loads up Jeffrey's Store and stuff like that, or Comedy Central, and you can just load up and you can view it there. That just goes to show how easy it is in Telegram because you can load it up just in one click. You can go in there, group if it's an NFT, protected one. You know, these are all the ways that you can do and reward creators. So it's really utilizing that. And then again, plugging in all the DeFi applications on there as well and showing the wallet there. So there's a huge amount that can be done there.
Absolutely. And I guess like a creator can also be a developer, right? They're creating content like a mini app. So do you have some other examples of what maybe some builders are creating beyond?
In what way? Because we've got a load of games, high quality games. So you've got all different levels of games. Okay, so we've got like some battle royale games, like really actually high quality stuff. We've got like social fi, so it's like just fun games. We've got basically all levels. Like we had Gamey Animoca, and they've got like a Man City striker game and a hockey game, and you can just load it up on your phone like within like 2 seconds, and you can start playing. And we found gaming, what really works with gaming on Telegram is this social casual gaming, and then I go, oh look, I've got a high score there, send it to your friends, see if they can beat it. And all it does is and this is what really helps creators, you send it in the channels, okay, and then you can link back to it straight away rather than it just being copied and pasted. And these are the key things that we're seeing. So if I do an amazing post, how it goes viral is people share it to their friends and in other groups, and then they can click on it in the groups, go back, and that's how my channel rises, and that's how it all works.
Absolutely. And I guess like as a developer or building a mini app, as you said, if you're thinking about where you're going to get your first 100,000 users or customers, you've got the instant access to tap into of people already using these platforms. So Lato, I guess I want to know Have you invested or seen like a really good success story of someone who started building a mini app and gone on to maybe be a platform or an app that people might know of?
Yeah, I mean, I think this touches on a really exciting part of, I guess, what crypto can bring to social, which is just interoperability and letting third parties build on top of protocols, or even, I guess, start from any layer of the stack really and go in any direction. We actually invested in the Solana ecosystem in a company called Tapestry, who have been doing some really exciting stuff, building a social context layer for Solana transactions. I think we've seen a lot of social trading apps emerge in the Ethereum ecosystem, and they're really building the infrastructure to allow for that on Solana. And then obviously that lends itself to some exciting social trading features that they've been building too. There's even NFT collecting and art collecting as well. And yeah, I think we're all really excited to see third parties kind of build on top of that and become an ecosystem, kind of like what Tom's been able to do with the gaming and the social fi. And yeah, see more third-party clients kind of evolve on top of these protocols, both with Tapestry and in the other leading social layers too.
For sure. There's been a couple of ones that spring to mind recently when you mentioned protocols who are trying to build like an open social graph. Lens and Farcast are some of those, and it seems that they're all kind of coming back to the protocol actually building the app and owning that themselves. I'd love to get your thoughts on that. Can you actually build a social protocol and let third-party developers flourish on it, or is it really about the app that you build at the end of the day?
Yeah, I think this is probably one of the most interesting questions in crypto generally. I think, if you think about Uniswap, to take a DeFi example, like how many people access Uniswap without going through the Uniswap interface? They're even able to charge a fee on that and kind of raking in hundreds of millions there because people would rather just go straight to the app than interact with the protocol. And I think it's quite interesting to think about how that's going to play out for social. I definitely think it's going to be app first, and people will want to come back to the same interface and experience some sort of curation through a client to reach a protocol. I definitely think that's going to play out, which is interesting. I think in Web 2 you kind of saw a few more different, I guess, like Zynga, for example, building on top of Facebook. It'll be curious to see how it plays out, but you definitely need a flagship app, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I saw last week that Base or Coinbase is now kind of trying to create a super app, and in some ways there's many things you can do, like you've mentioned with Telegram. Martin, what are your thoughts, Dumpling, from a creator's perspective? You said that you use YouTube a lot as a channel. Are you thinking about using any of these new blockchain social channels in any specific way?
Not yet.
Okay.
I couldn't be bothered because how seemingly difficult it is.
Yeah.
Again, I'm a very fundamentalist content creator. I'm not 100% happy with what I have now, but all the posts I've been seeing seem to be quite focused on the rewards you're getting, the hype you will be getting. And it seems like a pain in the ass to sign up and get some invitation. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm trying to paint a picture. There will be a lot of content creators who just won't be bothered. If it's not easy to sign up, if they don't think it's going to stay here for a long time, if it's too gimmicky, and then it's up to the platform to attract these people.
Do you think it's just a bit of an echo chamber then, people just building crypto Twitter? I think this was in the blurb of the event, but I'd love to get people's takes. Like, are we building new social platforms that will attract many people, or is it just appeasing the small crypto crowd that exists today?
100%. A lot of times you are preaching to the choir, right? And also it's a subgroup of a subgroup, a cult within a cult, already on Twitter, and then you tell people on Twitter there's going to be a new platform. Maybe there's another new platform built on top of that. Then you're having a smaller subset of people who are already bought into your idea. But if you want to build a bigger platform to attract long-term content creators, the approach has to be a bit different.
I totally agree with you there, actually, because I was thinking about, just as you were saying it. So we obviously had YouTube with the videos. Does anyone remember Vine at all?
Yeah.
Remember Vine? 'Cause I thought that was actually really good, actually, the Vine stuff. That went away, I think. I don't know if that just got decommissioned. So the last thing that sort of came out was TikTok. because that basically was what. But I think what we need when we're building this stuff is come up with something completely new. You know, like so many of these. Oh, it's a crypto Twitter. Well, I'm on Twitter and I'm going to be saying this, or it's YouTube for crypto, and I was like, oh, it's YouTube with the crypto element in. That doesn't really bother me. Honestly, I'm on crypto the whole time. Am I going to go to a video streaming site just because it's got crypto? And the thing that really annoys me in crypto, and probably for most of you, so many people quite, oh, it's got a coin, or it's got a this, or it's like, well, actually, does it really need any of that stuff? So you really need to give people a reason to make people's lives so much easier, make it fun, make it simpler. So, you know, I'm going to use one of the examples of why I actually felt a real utility. I was in Singapore, token 2049, and actually someone said, oh, you should go on Telegram. There's this great taxi app called Tadar. You can go straight on it and you can order your taxi within seconds. So I was like, well, this is a bit strange. So I went in, I typed Tadar in the channel, it loaded up the mini app within seconds, okay? I was able to order the taxi, pay for it with my integrated wallet already within Telegram. I was off. The person next to me on the flight was still on their Wi-Fi, trying to download the, you know, and I took him in, I showed his. Now that, for him, was really amazing, because he's like, oh, look, I've got a problem. I've got to get on this Wi-Fi. I've got to find the app. I've got to slow it down. When I showed him something that was making his life a lot easier, simpler, and it was a bit fun just sort of doing it there. That's how you sell people. If I just said, oh, look, this is Uber, but this is exactly the same as Uber, but it's got, you can pay crypto behind the scenes, or all your journeys are on the blockchain, you know, like, you know, it's like, I don't think people really, you know, like, this is what I always say, it's like, oh yeah, it's always on the blockchain. It's like, well, most people don't really care, and like, don't even talk about all the tech behind it. Just make sure it really is all the, you know, the fun, easy and simple, and that's how you become and get a new platform on that stuff.
Yeah, I'll actually take, I think, a different take to you both, where I think focusing on like what's going to bring new creators onto these applications is actually kind of the wrong way to think about it. I think every new successful social application actually spawns its own, I guess, wave of influencers, and I think that's been really easy to date as content formats have changed. So, you know, we have Twitter and Facebook with messaging, Instagram introduced photo, YouTube introduced video, and then TikTok introduced insane distribution with their algorithm and short form video. So that was a really easy way to spawn new types of influencers, because there was a new content format. It's quite hard. We've kind of, I would argue, run out of content formats, but I think the problem isn't that you're not going to bring creators over to a platform, because no creator ever would. You know, you guys are successful creators already, and it's always going to spawn new influencers, but the problem is more that the application isn't compelling or differentiated enough to Web2 to actually spawn a new wave of influencers, and more importantly, that audience where 90% of them are lurking.
Do you have an example? Because I did have a question about, like, the people building communities in any different way than what we've been doing, you know, on social media platforms today.
Yeah, I mean, I actually got pretty excited a few years ago by, I guess, the digital art community that kind of naturally came into crypto, both with generative art and AI. I think that was a really interesting native environment for those communities to spawn on chain. You had stuff like Bright Moments, who were really good at, I guess, bringing an IRL element to it, and obviously just trading, buying, minting NFTs was integral to those communities, so it made sense to be on chain. I've seen a few attempts of trying to, you know, on the health side, tokenize data associated with your Strava, your wearables, bring that on chain and bring a social element there. It'll be interesting how that plays out. But yeah, I think, you know, we're still ripe for experimentation there.
Is there a big blocker from a technical point of view that's stopping any of these, you know, new ideas or bigger adoption happening? You know, what would be a blocker for you that's stopping you from changing the channels you use for social media today, Dumpling?
I like your previous question about building community.
Yeah.
I want to give an example.
Absolutely.
In the beginning, that was like 2022, 23. When I was trying to build my community, of course, I wanted it to last from the beginning. And I was consulting quite a few geeks and people who are very technical, and they all told me, just do it on Discord, because that was the go-to place, and the technos really love it. It has apparently very powerful functionalities. but I just couldn't get it to work. Like I paid $50 on Fiverr, hire some Indian person to walk me through, to coach me on Discord. And I just gave up after 3 weeks. It's too hard to use. Instead, I built my community on Telegram. It's just so much easier to use. And so the lesson here for platform builders is you can have a very technically powerful platform, and you can have a few very niche people, loving this platform, vouching for you. But ultimately, to appeal to the masses of content creators, it has to be easy enough. That's why I chose Telegram. And now my personal group has 5,200 something people. That's not easy to manage on any other platform. I try to think about, imagine on WeChat, it's almost impossible to manage that. But Telegram has those bots that's so easy for me as a non-technical person to use. I'm probably not going to use many of the features you mentioned today because I just can't be bothered for a long time. But one thing you guys did really great compared to many Chinese social apps. Now that's really funny. Nowadays, the contemporary consensus complaint of Chinese social apps is it's so bloated. You open the music app, listen to 3 songs. Congratulations, you've just taken out a loan on a very high interest. Telegram has a lot of other features I will probably never touch, but as a platform that I built my community on, it works. So it's not always bad if you have many other functionalities. It's about if you are a social platform, do that thing first and do that thing well. I don't care about the others, but if it does it well, I'm going to stay. And so far, it has been smooth sailing since 2021, and my community has grown from 100 people to over 5,000.
That's Telegram's new ambassador. Thank you very much for that. Are you accepting stars for tips and gifts sent to your
I
channel?
didn't know that was possible.
There we go. So there we go.
And you need to do more education on that for creators and group
Oh
owners.
no, I couldn't agree more with that. That's why I'm here today to sort of do that. I'm sort of on board here there. So.
And just as a follow-on, maybe Martin, is there any big blockers that you're working on at Telegram that you think is going to unlock the new next level of growth for the platform?
Awareness. Look, as you said, we're in a room full of. We're near enough. I think everyone. Is anyone not on Telegram, by the way? Am I like one person? You're not on Telegram. Do you know what we talk about?
I will be.
You will be. There we go. So we've got 100% there. He won't give you. No, we won't give a gift out there. But everyone's on Telegram, and then no one knows about Telegram mini apps. Is everyone in groups? Because a lot of people use. Who's not in a group at all? Like not just with your mates, but just a random like crypto group or anything like that. Is there anyone just not on that? No. See, there we go. Because the reason with Telegram, and again, around the world, people use it very differently. So some people just use it to chat to their friends, a bit like WhatsApp. Other people just use it for groups fully, and people never use that at all to talk individually. And then we have, especially us crypto people, we do a bit of everything. A lot of people use it as their main line of communication at work with clients. Okay. So the awareness is definitely a big issue that everyone in crypto and here knows about Telegram, knows about the groups, does not know about, obviously, the mini apps that we have and how we can do that. So obviously the awareness is one thing. We're onboarding a lot more IP. I don't know if anyone knew about how Snoop was coming on at all to Telegram. So we're trying to get a lot more Web2 brands and consumer products on to get that awareness that, oh, look, you can have this gift, and then that opens up the world of Telegram mini apps. But I think the key thing is we shouldn't be from the foundation to try and push it. We've got the tools. We just need people to sort of come there with a great banging app, and then everyone's just going to go on like TikTok. I'm on TikTok because everyone sends me TikToks. Get on TikToks, view it all, and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. I think it's interesting to hear that there's the execution of the social media and the group chats, which is what you really want, but then you didn't know about some of these other things. So it's such a balance between like what you expose to the users and what you don't. So it does the job they need, but you also don't overcomplicate selling loans on a YouTube video. Latta, I guess you've probably seen a lot of pictures with your work in the VC world. What do you see as a common mistake people make when they're pitching a social app or social platform?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I think the best pitch is an MVP or a product to actually try out. It doesn't have to be perfect, but kind of getting a feel for an experience is definitely, I think, the best way to get a vision across, and the best way to get whoever you're speaking to most excited about your app, because if you can get them using it, they're going to evangelize it more to the rest of their team.
Great. We are almost out of time before we start, I think, some question and answers. So I'll just go around. If anyone's got any, hot takes, any pet peeves that they really felt they wanted to get out this evening, just free form, go for it.
Don't listen to influencers on Twitter. X. Don't do that. The amount of rubbish I see there with the inside info, just don't. Okay, that's just a general public service announcement there.
Very good. Anything from you, Dumpling?
Can you come back to me after?
Sure.
I think I actually managed to pepper a few of them in, but just generally, let's just build social products that are going to attract Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and not, I guess, not people who aren't driving social media forwards.
Okay.
For platform builders, from a content and user perspective, most people only use the superficial level of functions. So if you have very cool functions, make sure it's easy to understand and people know about it.
We're going to get you those gifts and stuff enabled on your profile.
Okay, excellent. Well, I think we'll hand over for Q&As. I'll pass
If
over
you guys
to Emma.
have any questions, please.
Hi there. I've got a question for anyone who wants to answer it in terms of a curiosity of mine. So I'm obsessed with gaming, and I think that gaming is the new social media, and it's the driver behind all the biggest things in social media. So your KSI, your Kaisana, your Roblox, the numbers that they're doing are bigger than any influencers. The economies that they're creating, like for example on Roblox, people are creating whole economies. The sales of the assets that they're doing, things like CSGO and so on and so forth. But I just think no one ever really sees it as social media, even though it does all the things that social media does. It has the chats, it has the videos, it has the pictures, it has the highlights, but people just don't see it as social media. Why is that, do you think?
Who wants to answer?
Well, I've got to say, actually, we mentioned it. Do you remember Farmville? Because everyone was like, that was like the social media. But I think the thing with the games is a lot of the games are within, as I said, talking from Telegram, within social media. So I thought you were going to say, is that going to be the next element? And I could probably say more of that. Like, we could there's was it pay to play now? No, pay to win. So imagine I go up against you and we could just put like $5 in a pot, and we get our comic as well joining us in there. So then the pot's now 15, and then my man at the front, the guy in the cap, we've got a pool of 30, and then we play a game. Whoever wins takes that money back. And then you can start like sharing it and getting it in the groups, and then we go into Dumpling's group, and then there's 5,000 people. We do $1 each. We can play, and then we can talk afterwards there. So
They all speak Chinese though.
they speak Chinese. Okay. We'll try. Okay, but yeah. But yeah, I think that's, the Telegram, and Ton, I think we're always thinking gaming is probably the easiest way in, because it's very sticky. I think all of us do play a game or, get sticky on a game. And yeah, you can just talk and chat with it. I think the difference is with the gaming it's like, and I know some of the big gaming rigs, you have the chats in there and people go in there. But yeah, you're right. I don't really think most people think gaming is social media.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting point, because actually at the start when you asked what was the first social account, I actually almost said Club Penguin, because that was where I spent a lot of my time as a child. And yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of these virtual worlds are definitely the social apps for the younger generation. I think the reason why I wouldn't think of them as social media companies from a VC perspective is because I think they built a great game first and then became a social environment because they had attracted so many gamers. And I think if you think of them as a social media company, as an early stage startup, platforms you're thinking of building, you're kind of focusing on the wrong order of things. But I totally agree that they are a huge social environment today and shouldn't be understated.
Cool. When you mentioned like the future look of social media, right, with like how content's created and like, how people are moving in the sense of like, okay, Telegram's got chat, Instagram's got post content and reels, TikTok's got reels and just like the basic content, and obviously you got Twitter, got written content, right? Where do you feel like the next step for social media is, especially with like AI agents coming into play and like how content's actually being formed? Obviously, I've actually built something for that as well. It's called Unify. I haven't really released it yet. It was just like a fun little project that I was using AI. I was playing around with it. But basically, like, where do you feel like social media is going in the sense of like, even with crypto as well, right? Obviously, it's decentralized social media with like how reward mechanisms are distributed between like content creation as well. My intake is how to answer your discussion for you lot is that basically I feel like it's going to be like different algorithms or like how you feel like social engineering in like normal social media is being used, and how like reward systems and like how mechanisms for reward systems for like basic content as well is being used. But I'd just like to know you lot's standpoint on that as well.
I think with technology, and we're already noticing echo chambers having stronger and harder walls. For example, what this gent asked, I was not aware because I'm not in that circle. And imagine you are not in the crypto Twitter circle, you have no idea how many of the words we'll be talking about today. And that's only the beginning. With AI, people are going to be much more divided. I'm going to be very curious to see things like loneliness, division in people's opinions, how that is going to play out, and how maybe many platforms will try to monetize from that. And the other thing is, with AI, we're already noticing people's sentiment shift from this is really cool, I'm going to use that to create content. From that to I can already smell this is AI generated and I'm not going to click on it. So authenticity, proof of humanness is going to be a huge advantage for anyone who is a real person creating real content.
It goes to the lines of like the organic with the artificial, right? And that's the age-old question of like AI as well, like where we how AI is formed through our consciousness, right? So like
also, platforms need to be better at identifying AI-generated content.
My favourite thing at the moment is watching, on Twitter or X, you can AI generate, it says like automated there. People not realising it's AI and arguing against the AI. It's great, enjoyable stuff. And we saw, I posted it this morning about Crypto Rover. He was doing a giveaway, crypto. He's a KOL. And he did a giveaway and he asked Grok to find his winners. And Grok said, we're not doing that because you're a questionable character, basically. I've got my PR, there's a PR guy in there, so I don't know. Yes, I know, I'm trying to use the right words, but what can I say?
You can say that.
Yeah, I can say that. There we go, I've improved. But yes, so it's quite funny with AI sort of calling people out as well on that. So we need things to be at least flagged more as AI, and I think, that's going to be the next thing as well, like this looks AI generated.
Okay, guys. Last question, just because we're running out of time.
Yeah, I want to ask a question about social media and privacy. So I'm a heavy user of WeChat, WhatsApp, and Telegrams. And the WeChat is heavily scrutinized, monitored by the government, often get banned, right? So WhatsApp, we know there are court cases in the US, and the WhatsApp messages are actually evidence. So the government got hold of it. So for the Telegram, a lot of people don't know. Telegram, the chat is not really P2P encrypted unless you turn on a single chat, right? So when the Telegram founder was arrested in France, a lot of people panicking. So he's probably will be forced to give some kind of backdoor to the Telegram. So I wonder if anyone here building a social media with a privacy in mind, and how much privacy the users actually care about it.
100%. Absolutely. Complete type of leakage of data, cybersecurity is horrendous. Whatever you say.
Who's ready to take up on the challenge?
Why did why did Microsoft buy LinkedIn? Why did they buy LinkedIn? Just for the data. Why are they still free? It was purely for the data. And when you use a QR code to join somebody, they're taking your data immediately, whereas you do it manually, they have to mine the data.
But do you think actual people care?
I don't care.
But you're probably one out of like five, a very small percentage, I think. Like, you putting your hand up to speak or agreeing with that fact at the back there?
Yeah, I'm just saying that there's a platform called
Yeah, but look, I totally understand data. Look, if sitting in a room, like, do you want to go on a platform where like your data is? But then if you see all the fun videos on TikTok, I think most people are going to go to TikTok. That's the dark reality that we have here. If there's fun stuff, people don't really care. Like, imagine all this data they give away to get like a free club card, and to get your grapes 10 pence cheaper. Like that's the sad thing. It comes out of the data leak.
Club card have more data on you than police records.
Yeah, there we go. See, you still allow that?
I use as few little.
But if you see about it. Then you're charged a lot more, or you've got to go elsewhere to do it, and that is a restrictive thing.
I want my privacy. With AI, I'm really worried that privacy will be highly misused.
I was going to say, Jeffrey follows me around the world. We've been to like Dubai, Singapore, New York, wherever, and he always asks awkward questions right at the end of this. Here's the plot. And I saw when you're walking over with the mic, it's like, don't be Jeffrey, make it be the person behind me. It's like, you can turn these features on Telegram, you're right, like that. And I don't work for Telegram either. So, obviously, if you said, would you prefer to go to one platform over the other, but data, data shown or data not, I don't think anyone's going to say, I don't mind giving my data away. But if you go to other platforms where there's fun stuff like we see with TikTok, with YouTube and everything like that, people just give it away. And that's a reality of it, to be honest.
I think that's been true to date, for sure. And like, privacy is a very important but albeit boring topic. Yeah. People go where they want to go. I definitely have noticed a shift, though, I think, in attitudes with AI platforms. It's really the first time I've seen anyone care about privacy. So it'll be interesting to see if that actually becomes an important feature for users, which I think ultimately will drive any kind of privacy infrastructure there, or if it's just fear-mongering to date. But I think that's a space to watch where privacy could become more important, because it's not a thing in social media so far.
I've never seen Michael Harding so itchy. What are you going to say?
Guys, pizza is getting cold.
There's an easy way of settling this that proves that about people and behavior around data. So I just want to show you. Put your hand up if you've got an iPhone. Yeah. Okay. Now everyone, put your hands down. Put your hands up if you care about your privacy. Apple have multiple times said that they sell your data.
Yeah.
So it's this weird paradox of people saying that they care, but they don't actually care. They care depending on the situation and who's doing it. Like Apple have literally multiple times said that they're selling your data, but then the same people go, "Oh, I care about my privacy." But it's a paradox.
I would love to sell my data to selected vendors if I can tokenize and have ownership of my private information.
Well, that was what I was going to say when you get paid for it. But reality is a lot harder, because I wouldn't mind buying Dumpling's data for March 2023. There's got to be. It's going to be a lot trickier than actually in practice what we say on that stuff.
Okay, guys, I love a heated debate. But what's not going to be heated is our pizza. So, Jay, just a quick word. First of all, thank you. Let's say a big round of applause. So thank you for but Jay, quick word from you.
Yes, I mentioned where I work at the start, that we do proof of attendance on chain, and yes, your data will be open source. No, it's only if you use a wallet. Your wallet.
He's the first person out with his phone. I don't know anything.
If you would like to remember this very interesting chat on social media this evening and have a collectible for it, come have a chat with me afterwards, and I can give you a unique claim link for the poll tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, thank you so much. And if you could give us, if you want to to connect with us and ask or give us feedback.
Hello. Can I just have a minute, guys? Hello.
I didn't. As soon as I heard it, I was like,
Oh, hello.
yeah.
No, we're not finished. Hello, we're not finished. So, who has nothing to do tomorrow?